part of history. I'm understanding, it started to make sense to me. I took a minute, had to sit back, relapse, and then I recapped. I'm praying to myself, I won't go have another relapse. Moving up the mountain, shit, slowly but surely. Feel like I was...
I want to thank y'all for joining me on the last sip. Let's give us another chance. Give me another applause for coming back. Had a little connection situation, but we are back. I want to thank everybody following me on YouTube and Facebook. You can call me at 501-259-6788 with any questions, any comments. You know how we get down here on the last sip. I never spill tea, but I do take the last sip. Agua. Let's give another applause for the water. Now, if you were here with me earlier and we're here for the situation, I'm going to go over my topic of today. It is, man, please have your attention. And what I'm speaking about is the attention we give to so many things in life that don't matter. As far as it be people, subjects, things we dealing with, social media. And I sort of think to a certain point in time, things happen to us like the podcast here that just happened because I wasn't paying attention to the right part of the subject that I was speaking on. See, we give so much negativity to anything that's positive that all things negative seem to run like a river. They flow. Nobody takes time to correct people when they're doing the wrong thing or saying the wrong thing. As I was speaking on, if you follow my podcast, I'm big on education and I'm big on social media credibility, meaning the substance of what is being placed on social media. Now, we have people, like I said, that do these mukbangs, and a lot of them do them, and they're people of a certain weight standard. They've had things happen to them, from be it heart attacks, be it cardiac arrests, be it, clogged arteries, and it never ends up well for them. But we sit back and watch them. There's some people that get paid for that type of stuff. But nobody has enough love to tell them that they're affecting themselves or hurting themselves bad by the things they take in and how much they're massively overeating. But if you come on and do comment on those subjects or situations, you'll get so much ridicule from people saying you're shaming them people or let them live their life. It was quoted to me from a friend of mine in one of my statements I made or one of my posts I made on social media was that truth is love. And I'll say that again. Truth is love. We got to start being able to speak up and say things that are truthful enough for people to hear them and understand them. See, if you post something up that's positive, if you don't have all this, the correct quotes or the correct facts, but the message is positivity and the message still stands the same, still stands the test of time, regardless of how it's placed out there, you'll get popped. You have people digging through it, people throwing out other references, people telling you made a mistake. Where's that same energy for all the negative stuff on social media or in the world? Like these parents out here that are disrespecting other parents by having their kids not get education, but teach the new latest TikTok dances and songs. What about the education system that got it to where they have these young kids that are in the 6th grade going to junior high schools and high schools with older kids? These kids aren't prepared for that type of style of schooling. These kids are bigger than them, taller than them, and a lot of bullying happens in these situations. What about the homelessness we got going on? What about the way that society treats our less fortunate, our handicapped, our disabled, our hungry? See, no one speaks on that type of stuff because it's not good to do so. People can quote the word in the Bible all day long when things suit their nature, but they can't follow it on an everyday basis. What about love thy neighbor? What about you're not the judge? Nobody wants to be in a good place at the right time if it's going to affect their bottom line. Nobody wants to be in a good place at the right time if it affects their bottom line. You see so many people that turn from being one way to the next because it's going to help them get a dollar. It's going to help what they got going on in the world. You're letting everything go to the wayside. These kids is dying. Listen to the music they're listening to. Mentally, they're not even the same as we were when we were young. Parents and generations are becoming younger and younger and younger. And no one is stepping up to stand up to tell them, hey, this is how you do this. This is how you correct it. Because our attention span is on something else. Hey, I'm going to be honest. I'm a guy. I look at things on social media I shouldn't look at all the time. Stuff comes up in my feed. I'm not perfect, but I know how to tune it out. People I see every day make comments on things or leave certain type of posts. You know what I do? I flip right past it. I don't give my input on it because it's something that I don't want to get involved in. But I'm not going to go on somebody that's saying something positive and dig through their situation and try to make them feel like they don't know what they're doing or talking about, because it's not the person delivering the message they're putting out. It's a message of positivity. They're placing something out there that's speaking to my inside senses, that's speaking to my morality. So I'm going to support that. The message might not be placed out the way you want to be placed out, but the fact that the message is there. But no, we can't do that. We want to tear that apart because they didn't say it the way we think they should have said it. But yet, the same people don't use that energy to speak up on this nasty stuff on social media. The half-dressed women, the bad grammar, all the things that is going on in society right now. We got so many people that got so much to say about when you are positive and say something not the way they think you should have said it, but won't say nothing about the other stuff that's going on. When are you going to grow up and grow up here and say something? When are we going to take everything that's negative and start putting it where it belongs? Throw it up in the air and put the screws to it. Stop thinking that every time somebody says something that is not the way you want them to say it, that you got to correct them all the time. If they're in a positive state of mind, a positive moment, let them have that, because remember this, sometimes they have to speak that way to get in touch with those who need to hear the message. Yeah, I'll say it again. Sometimes they have to speak a certain way to get a hold of people that are trying to hear the message. That's why I got so many people that aren't in the right state of mind or in the right place right now, because the way you came at them and tried to correct them. Instead of showing love and living and being an example of something and putting a hand out to show love to them, to guide them and lead them, you decide to correct every last situation that they were going through or dealing with. Even if there was a positive situation, you didn't think they should have did it that way to get there. You got something to say about it. But yet the neighbor down the street is doing something that's totally wrong. You don't have nothing to say about that. That ain't none of your business. How do you look? Don't get quiet now, because it's a real situation. That's the issue. Our attention span is so jacked up. We don't pay attention long enough to things that are messed up because we're busy trying to be in a situation where we correcting those who are delivering a message. We want to correct them so we can show that they don't know what they're talking about. And that is an issue. That's an issue that is plaguing us. That's an issue that is affecting us. It is stopping our growth in our neighborhoods. It's stopping our growth in our government. It's stopping our growth in the schools. It's stopping our growth in the parenting of children and households. You know how many marriages are messed up because of stuff like that? You have two parents that are in a household and can't seem to get along to raise a child because one parent is telling them the correct way on how to live life. Might not be said the way you want it to be said. and the other person is turning their back and letting the child do whatever they want to do. It starts marital disputes. Same thing in school. Same thing in government. It's been like that forever. When are we going to start paying attention and get our attention span where it needs to be and shut down that negativity that needs to be shut down? Like I said, so many people get irritated if you comment on something on social media that is wrong. You see somebody in a video and they fighting, regardless of who started the fight or who ended the fight. Fighting is wrong to be sending this message out to young children. Like we got the teacher and the kid fighting in the classroom. I know y'all seen them videos. Regardless of who started it or who ended it, it shouldn't be going on. But if you say somebody was wrong, the child or the teacher, everybody's going to pop you and give you backlash. But yet, on the same set of reels, you'll have somebody out there half naked dancing. 3 or 4 of them. The same people that commented on the situation about someone that said the teacher and the child should be fighting won't say nothing about the naked dancing. Now you'll say, Mac, right now your message is all over the place. You're not focused on one thing. Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to prove. Neither are we, none of us. Our attention span is not focused on what it needs to be focused on because we're all over the place. The stuff I just spit for the last 11 minutes should be an example to you what I was talking about. I took you every which way but loose. But the whole point was I just gave a message. The message was it's time to fix the problems. It's time to focus on the education situation. It's time to focus on what our children and what we are watching on social media. It's time to focus on what is on TV. It's time to focus on the way the message is being sent out and how people are reacting to it. You don't have to remember that society we live in now is acceptable of everything. Everything and anything. There is no moral standard anymore. We live in a world full of cavities, and nobody wants to be the one to pull the cavity out. Could you imagine walking through a field full of nothing but rocks barefooted, and every time you step, you messed up a toe, you messed up a heel? That is what walking through life is right now. No one has a clear path either way it goes. Because there's always something there to stick you. But if I have someone there who's telling me, hey, check it out, walk this way, that way, that way, that way, they might say, hey, you know what you need to do? Do 2 hops and a skip and go over this way. Now, if I avoid a couple of rocks that way, the message was a good message. It was delivered. Somebody else might say, hey, you know what you need to do? Go ahead and get down on the ground, pick up 4 or 5 of the rocks, throw them to the side, and then walk that path. The message was delivered. It wasn't delivered the same way you delivered it. I'm not going to pick apart the way you delivered that message. I'm not going to pick apart the way the other person delivered the message, because the fact is that the same thing was accomplished. I was able to walk a few steps without stepping on rocks. I'm not going to always be pleasing to everybody, the things I say or the things people hear me say. But I'm always going to deliver a message to you that's going to be real, raw, and authentic. Because that's what I'm about. Because I have changed my attention span to come after the things that I need to come after so we can improve ourselves. It's so many of us out here speaking this way with this positivity or with this correctional speech. What I mean by correctional, I mean we're trying to get us where we need to go so we can generate more positivity, generate more awareness of situations going on. And there's people out here that pick us apart, fact checkers. People with all the wisdom and knowledge in the world. But remember, when you were learning what you were learning, Somebody knew more than you did, and some of them did not come and tell you you were wrong. Some of them did not come and correct you. Some of them did not come and issue warnings and statements and say, do it like this. They didn't. They let you learn. Name that's what some people, yeah, some people do. But there's a lot of people I heard there's more people that don't than do. They have more knowledge and wisdom you doing anything you're doing. And they see what you're doing. They see how you're growing and they see your maturation process. They do not impede that. Because their attention span is not on how you're getting there. It's the fact that you're getting there. And my big issue is we spend so much time and energy on correcting someone that's moving in the right direction that we don't correct those who are falling by the wayside. We don't check those who are messing things up for other people. We don't get on those who are messing up their life and their moments, their situations. As I told you before, somebody told me the truth is love. I understand that. But use that same energy to correct those who need to be corrected and who are not on the path that they should be on. If you see them messing up, correct them. You see them not getting right, grab their hand and lead them along, guide them. That's a big issue with me. Because it's something we have got to correct. You got to be real about it. We can't keep sitting back with our eyes closed and letting that pass. But then when someone's out here doing positivity, we knock them and hit them on every single thing. Because the main word in that is positivity. Positivity helps create advancement. Advancement helps create morale. Morale helps create responsibility, accountability, stability. Can we keep it real? So many relationships have been ruined because you see somebody that's not doing the right thing, you'll say something to them and then they stop talking to you forever. Okay, so what? But guess what you did? You took that energy and fed it to them. Now they have a seed there that's been planted that'll grow and maybe they'll change over. But not to say nothing, but then take that energy of somebody that's doing something in their life and then to bicker and knock at them. Is that to make you feel better or bigger than someone else? Remember, just because you're a good person and doing good things in your life, your works can be seen as something that are not positive to some people. Because you're stumping on someone else that is positive trying to do what they're doing. Show love and support. Let's get together, y'all. Change the attention span to the things that are negative and let's knock it out the box. My next subject tonight, let's give another applause to Water, man. If you got any comments, you want to text, you want to leave a message, you want to call, 501-259-6788. I am Mac Mans. Welcome to the Brew Shop. This is The Last Sip. I'm Mac Mans, aka Motivational Muscle. I want to thank y'all for tuning into my podcast. Once again, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. I thank y'all so much. Right now, I'm going to get into reality TV, reality trip. Speaking of paying attention, they know how to catch you on TV and on social media. They got us so wrapped up into these reality TV shows. Reality TV, basically, what's going on is it's supposed to be unscripted, although some of the stuff seems like they know what's going on. They have shows that involve winning money, and they have shows that involve swapping mates. They have shows that involve challenges, shows that involve falling in love, shows that involve getting cars fixed, just house buying, house flipping, all kind of stuff. I have picked 3 shows that irritate me more than anything. Show number 1, Deal or No Deal Island. Now the show already irritated me a little bit because you basically go on to this show, you pick a briefcase and you go through the briefcases and you knock off money figures. When you get to a certain amount of briefcases, they'll offer you cash for your case, depending on how much other cash is left up there. So if you grab a case and say your case only worth $50, but there's still a possible of one of the cases being $1 million. If you go through the cases and they don't find $1 million case and they knock off so many cases after a while, if the cases that are left up there are still big and they don't know, because maybe you have the big case, they'll offer you more money. But if they're knocking off bigger cases, they figured you have a smaller case, they'll offer you less money. The whole object was to either win win an enormous amount of money or sum of money in your case, or sell your case for a certain amount of money that you can get, stretching out as far as you can go, and sell your case back, hoping that no matter what happened, you either receive more money from them or had more money in the case. Now they've taken it and mixed it up with Survivor and made one show. You got these people on an island doing some of the most craziest things out here in the wilderness with these briefcases. Now I'm going to say one thing to you. Number one, I'm a city boy. I'm not going out in the wilderness. That's the first thing. Number two, I'm not doing no challenges for nothing. I'm not walking through no mud. I'm not walking through no spiders. I don't deal with snakes. And I'm not sitting on an island full of people that I know I can't trust. And the whole object is to get the best briefcase to win this cash. That's what we come at, man. Society is so based upon your standards of money and cash till we done lost all morality, man. We out here just doing anything for anything. But that show is so irritating. Because the way you look at it, somebody could seriously be hurt out there. Or the fact that you just lose all yourself trying to get this cash. It's not worth it. And for the fact they got us doing this, or those people doing it, it's just loony. The second show I want to talk about is Pop the Balloon for Love. Y'all have heard me talk about this show. This show's something else. You literally walk into a room and there's 10 to 12 people there of the opposite sex. When they first see you, if they like you, they hold on to their balloon. If they dislike you, they pop it. So you can literally go into this room and nobody can reach you. They can all pop their balloons or they can all keep them. The problem with this show is they're going right on looks. And that is the issue with our society right away. Because it's a first look, first decision. That's it. Not getting to know your mind, not getting to know who you are, what you do, going by your looks, not knowing your character. And some of the people on there was a guy, a young man, I talked about this, who was a lawyer. He walked into the room, every last girl popped their balloon. And then he went through and he asked questions, why'd you pop your balloon? Oh, your outfit's not giving. You seem like you're so young. He said, well, I just graduated law school. I just signed on to a big firm. I'm going to be a partner. A couple of girls, can I get my balloon back? Yeah, you want your balloon back. You sure do. Yeah, you want it back. Because you might have messed up a future is what you did. Another lady, well, just your outfit, the shoes. I mean, you got a hoodie on or whatever, this shirt, and they got a symbol on there, emblem, and it's not even, it's all, that's my LLC. I'm making clothes since I've been in high school. You know how she felt? Yeah. This young man was about his bread. He walked out there with no one because they were so focused on what he looked like, how he presented himself, that they didn't get to know who he was. So he walked out with no one. Because here's the thing that got me. After all the interviewing he talked to him, they all tried to find something wrong with him after the fact that they popped the balloon and found he was a lawyer. Because it's embarrassing we live in a society now where it's embarrassing to have to apologize for anything. I'll say that again. We live in a society where it's embarrassing to have to apologize for anything. Apologize for being wrong. And then the people that hook up on these shows be just the wrong. It be guys that don't even want to be in a relationship. It be females. These are just basically hookup shows. Y'all seen the one? The 20 and whoever, 20 and Bootsy, 20 and Orlando Brown. It is such a crazy thing to see these shows like this. It's just hilarious to me to see these shows because nobody is actually paying attention to the mindset that goes behind this. They're sitting back, setting up this little situation, and all this is a hookup. You can't find love this way. It doesn't work. It's like going to the club every weekend. You're going to get what you get. So that right there, And the last show that irritates me most of all, TLC is the master of these reality TV shows. They have some of the worst shows on how they represent people of different standards of life. The one I hate the most is My 600-Pound Life. Now, unable to understand this show, you have to realize that you have to have a heart. Because if you sit back and watch this show, you'll seriously think to yourself, how'd you let yourself get that way? You got it. There's no way possible to let yourself get that way. You got to be able to quit. You got to be able to stop. Some people can't. Eating disorder is literally a disorder. And the thing that gets me is, as I'm watching this show, I'm seeing their lifestyle. They have people that enable them to continue to live this way. Be it mothers, be it fathers, be it boyfriends, be it girlfriends, be it children, be it siblings, neighbors, cousins. If you know a loved one is in front of you dying, why would you continuously feed into, no pun intended, feed into their disease, their disability? Anyone I know that I love and I want to see do better for themselves, I'm going to help out. But because we live in a society where you're not supposed to hurt nobody, and because it's best to make sure that you make people feel good all the time, no one steps up to shut this down. And you feel so bad. And then the fact is, when people do step up to help, they're cussed out, they're talked about. And then what gets me is people comment on these shows on social media and they get smacked in the face hard, saying they're shaming people and they don't understand what it feels like. Half the people comment that have been through some of this stuff. They've been there. Me, I've been over 300 pounds. I've never been that big, but imagine only being 5'6" and being over 300 pounds. You know how that feels? You know how it feels to not love yourself and get up every morning and just want to eat, and not care about nothing? You know how it feels to have people point at you and laugh and make fun of you because your clothes don't fit right or because you got a little extra something going on? But for society to take and to put this on display, and not only put it on display, for them to take it and make money off of it, is a big disgrace to me. It's something that bothers me with our society. But it gets our attention. We'll watch it. We will literally watch somebody else destroying their life and don't say nothing. We're literally sit back. The world is a place right now where misery loves company. Yeah, that deserves an applause for the statement that just was made. Misery loves company from where we live. It's been like that forever. And as I spoke before, that's why it's time to change your attention span. Change your attention to something else. Because if we don't feed into it, they won't produce it. They won't put it out. We got to give something else, y'all. We got to be more in tune to what's going on with what we're dealing with. We got to be more ahead of the grade. We got to make the grade. We got to be more ahead of what's going on in life right now. Because these type of situations are bad. And to see people like that live every day trying to get better. Because I'll be honest, they do try to get better because they do go see Dr. Nav. He's a renowned specialist for weight loss surgery. So if you watch that show, you do see some of them trying to attempt to get better. But the biggest key on that, the biggest thing about that show is their struggle. Because a lot of them just stop trying after a while. They miss appointments. They don't go by the diet he's giving them. And the people that's with them try not to help them. They literally keep feeding them. And then think about the emotional stress they go through too as well. As I've seen a couple of episodes where the mate was cheating on the person that was overweight. And to a certain point, I'll be honest, it's hard not to blame the person because the fact is everybody needs emotional attention. But if you commit to somebody knowing the situation they're in, you got to be there 100%. You got to be committed. There is no waffling. You got to be committed. But this reality TV, it's got to stop. Reality TV is so bad. It's horrible. It's getting even worse because as society standards change, so does reality TV. It flips all the way over. We got to speak up and stand up. So turn the TV off, watch something else. Watch a family movie. Spend time with the children. But for the fact that they know we're going to watch this stuff and they give you things that get you addicted to watching it, you're going to look at it. So all I can say about that is it's time to turn the reality trip off and get back into the actual reality of life. Well, I want to thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Like I said, my show wasn't that long. I just had a couple of points to hit on. They were important to me. I want to send shouts right now to the writer of my theme song, Untitled. Check him out on YouTube and on Facebook. Untitled, he has 3 or 4 tracks, EPs coming out soon. It's going to be off the chain. I want to send a shout out to my children out there. I want to send a shout out to a couple of people. Send a shout out to the Mean Pig, my boy Chad Merritt, best barbecue in the South. You got to check him out. The home of the Shut Up Juice is good. You got to get it going. Want to send a shout out to the Water, Essentia. Come on, man. This is where it's at. Got to send a shout out to that. Also, man, I just want to let you know, man, that no matter what's going on in your life right now, keep moving forward. The journey is only starting. It's only beginning. You're going to have some times where you want to fall to the ground and you don't think you can make it. Keep walking, man. You got this. Also, pretty soon, you guys are going to have subscriptions up where you're going to get exclusive content on Facebook. I'll be starting a Hip Hop Essential. That's right. A Resurrection of Hip Hop show on Saturday evenings, running from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central. Also, I'll be putting up my NBA playoff review and my NFL draft review. These are going to be exclusives to my subscribers on Facebook. That's right. You'll be getting a little sound off on that pretty soon within the next week or so you can get subscribed. Those of you who send me stars, hey, just go ahead and put the 99 cents down on the subscription. Subscribe. You get exclusive reels. You get exclusive videos, exclusive the last sips, different things like that. Also, my merchandise is popping off still. I got Mac Man's merchandise going on along with the last sip. Hey, LLC coming. Y'all, big things are happening right now, and I want y'all to be part of it. I want to say I love you guys. I thank every last one of you who tune in every single week to the show, because without you, I'd be nothing. And I want to thank you for doing so, because it takes more than just me to keep this going. I understand sometimes I might not be everybody's cup of tea, but that's because I am always the last sip. I want to thank you, peace, and love.
Listen. I've been working on my craft and I've been studying my culture, taking everything I need. I'm coming like a vulture, I'm supposed to be a part of history. I'm understanding, it's starting to make sense to me. I took a minute, had to sit back, relapse, and then I recapped. I'm praying to myself I won't go